Artificial intelligence is going to destroy our lives, Bird. And Half-Life 3 might be confirmed. Birds of breasts.
I just wanted some sauce on those zingers.
Hey everybody, welcome to the very exciting Man Show where we live in the dystopian future that we all feared back in the day, but here we are. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, Rich Tomorrow. I upload content on a regular basis. My computer behind me beeps, and I also live stream on here on a pretty damn regular basis. So sub to this channel and leave a comment. It helps in the algorithm. And also too, I have an ASMR channel and I'm working on a video for there right now. It's cooking as we speak. Well, you know what I mean? So make sure you subscribe to Tech25 ASMR. I'll have a link to everything I'm mentioning below in the description and top pin comment. Also, birds.
Daddy, I like when you scrambling and scraping.
So the Steam Machine is a system that Valve was probably very excited to release. And then the AI RAM crunch happened where prices of RAM are going up. Like if you want to get a 32 gigabyte kit, you could buy a graphics card for less money now. Who would have thought even back like in September that would be the case? But here we are. RAM is through the roof. You got Micron, who made Crucial memory and Crucial products. They're getting out of the consumer business. Samsung, this is relatively new news, is actually no longer making SATA SSDs so they could use their resources on, well, making enterprise crap. We're in hell. We're in absolute hell. So I have talked about this with the Steam Machine before, and I have said that I am concerned about the pricing of the console. I actually put up a short where I showed that there were PCs. Yes, they're a different form factor, and part of the appeal of the Steam Machine is the small form factor where you're getting pretty decent computing power. But this PC I showed there you could get for about the same price or close to it. It was more capable out of the box in many ways, and you could upgrade it down the line. So there's that. But I am still excited for the Steam Machine. There are a lot of people that are, but there's some interesting news that came from Insider Gaming Daily's senior editor, Mike Straw. So he was doing his podcast called Insider Gaming Weekly, and he revealed some interesting insider information, some, well, bad news, let's keep it real about the Steam Machine, but some interesting news about Half-Life 3. And according to him, it's confirmed, and it's going to be a launch game for the Steam Machine. This is what he had to say. I wanted to just give an update on things. People have asked. I have been told a date. I wasn't going to report on that date because they weren't 100% confident in that date for obvious reasons with the Steam Machine, with the pricing, RAM going up in price every day. That date has sailed past, so there's a reason that I didn't report it, because Valve was essentially seeing which journalists were going to leak stuff, is what he's saying. Every date from every journalist I've spoken with, every creator who follows it and has dug, every single date that they were told has passed. Now, everything I have, everybody I talk to is still adamant that Half-Life 3 will be a launch title for the Steam Machine. There is a concern, however, that they haven't made a decision on price, which is holding back the announcement of anything else, even including Half-Life 3. So RAM prices, finally, we're going to actually get Half-Life 3. And then when they were finally going to announce it, something comes up that they can't announce it because Gabe can't count to 3.
No.
Which is holding back the announcement of anything else. The reason is because PC RAM prices, they're up, like I said, 200, 300, 500% from what they were in October. And it's only getting worse. The window that I was told was spring 2026 for the Steam Machine, for the Steam Frame, for the Steam Controller, for Half-Life 3. At the end of the day, the game is real. There's no denying it. It's just a when and not if at this point. All the signs pointed to it being announced in December. Then everything hit the fan, and I think it was a case of that concern. The Steam Machine was supposed to be Q1, like the end of Q1 2026, but I'm starting to wonder if that hardware is going to be pushed out. I guarantee you it's going to be. I would be shocked especially if inflated prices of components are going to be, well, the Steam Machine was going to be $500, but now it's going to be $700 to $900. who would be like, no, there's no way. So I have a feeling Valve is going to push it out a quarter, at least. Let's keep it real. Now, he goes on to kind of confirm the sources he heard about Half-Life 3. This is what he had to say. I can tell you the people I spoke to about the game, they're not these run-of-the-mill sources that haven't gotten me information before. They're the same sources that have given me details on Madden. A couple of them are the same sources that have given me details on the Lord of the Rings game that is in development that I reported on. They're not random, like one-off people, and they're still adamant that Half-Life 3 is coming in the spring. So yeah, that's amazing. I think that we're definitely getting Half-Life 3, and I'm looking forward to it. I've never been huge into the Half-Life series, but I did like Half-Life 2. And I'm curious to see what they do with Half-Life 3 and how it performs. Do you realize the amount of hype that's been? How many times have there been rumors of Half-Life 3? It's been a meme since before, I believe, the Orange Box released for PCs and the Xbox 360 and PS3 back in the day. That's how long we're going back. So it's been kind of like this hyped up thing for decades now. So it'll be interesting to see when Valve, I'm still going to go with if, because you never know. Maybe they have the game in development and they shelve it. But if we see Half-Life 3 and it's released, if it's going to live up to the hype. Half-Life Alyx, I heard, was fantastic. So it's not that Valve forgot how to develop games. It's just that they don't like counting to 3. And it figures that when they're actually going to count to 3, they can't release the product they want to release to have Half-Life 3 be a launch game for it because of RAM prices. And I know I'm repeating myself, but it has to be said for people who may have not seen my other videos. If you're just like an average consumer and you just have consoles, or you're like, Rich, I don't care. I buy a console and a smartphone every year. Like, I'm not into all the components and all the nerdy crap that you're talking about. That's cool. You drive a car, you own a cell phone, obviously, you buy consoles, you buy storage. Do you buy micro SD cards? Do you buy SSDs? Samsung's no longer making SATA SSDs because they want to use the resources for AI data centers to produce more memory for them. Do you use any of that stuff? Smart fridges, smart TVs, anything that has any kind of memory or computing power could possibly be affected by this. So I don't think people realize what they're in store for. And the funniest thing in the States is there's many things in the United States that are very unaffordable, but one of the always constant things was consumer electronics, albeit designed to be thrown away after a couple of years, no matter how expensive they are, were something that you could afford because of the fact that we send a lot of our manufacturing overseas, things like that. But now those products may become unaffordable. And if you want to get even more grim about things here, what the hell is that going to do to the already battered American economy? If people can't afford things, that means things aren't being sold. If things aren't being sold, that means companies aren't making as much money. If companies aren't making as much money, that means even more layoffs. And this isn't including the jobs that AI is going to take. We're living in hell. Hey everybody, hope you're excited for the Steam Machine. Make sure you sub to this channel. We're living in a dystopian hell and Skynet is real. Click the like button too. Rich Tomorrow signing out. Oh dear God, we're screwed.